Prime Minister Modi of India is making a visit to Washington, D.C., and his presence is not being welcomed by all. Thank God we have some members of Congress some of the time who are willing to show a spine. The reporting comes from Common Dreams as US President Joe Biden prepared Tuesday to greet Indian Prime Minister Modi for his first state visit to the country since he took office in 2014. At least 3 progressive lawmakers said they will not attend the leader's congressional address in protest of numerous alleged human rights violations by the Modi government. Now, the progressive lawmakers are Representatives Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, and Jamie Raskin. Good on them. A reporter for The Print in New Delhi tweeted out the following. Just then, 70 plus members of the US Congress write to Joe Biden asking him to raise human rights concerns with Prime Minister or PM Modi during the upcoming visit. Also, 3 members at Ilhan, at Rashida Tlaib, at Rep Raskin plan to boycott Modi's address to joint Congress. It's good on them. I'm glad that they did that in this report. And Representative Tlaib tweeted this: "It's shameful that Modi has been given a platform at our nation's capital. His long history of human rights abuses, anti-democratic actions targeting Muslims and religious minorities, and censoring journalists is unacceptable. I will be boycotting Modi's joint address in Congress." And here's more to the letter that the 70 Democrats from both chambers sent to President Biden. Raskin was among more than 70 Democrats from both chambers of Congress who wrote to Biden on Tuesday calling on him to make human rights and democratic values a key point of discussion when he meets with Modi. As to why Biden and Modi are meeting, it is the usual Biden administration lip service. Biden has made clear he sees US ties to India, the world's biggest democracy and one of its fastest growing economies. There it is right there, y'all. Just going to rest with fastest growing economies as a defining relationship. New Delhi, as Biden sees it, will be essential to addressing some of the most difficult global challenges in coming years, including climate change, disruptions related to artificial intelligence, and China's growing power in the Indo-Pacific. Francesca, there it is right there. Y'all leave that up. Let's put Francesca up too, because that's it. I mean, that they just basically said why the president is doing this, and it's more on the economic side of the ledger, has more to do with India's growth and size than anything morally. So, if he has human rights violation, it doesn't matter because India is big and its economy is growing, and we need their help to deal with China.
Absolutely, absolutely. To deal with China in all of the wrong ways, right? This is once again Joe Biden and the administration taking a step in the wrong direction when it comes to foreign policy, especially when it comes to being so-called tough on China, which is only backing China into a corner. It's only severing our ties. It's only prolonging even like the idea of a potential peace negotiation in Ukraine and Russia, right? Which, right. No matter, who or what side you are on, roads lead through China and relationships should be warming, to say nothing of dealing with global warming in and of itself. But let's set that aside. It is so critical that these Democrats are boycotting, and it is so critical that they're speaking out against the Modi government, who, by the way, Modi gets an audience with the United States Congress before he has met any kind of moral obligation, human rights, obligation to his own people, to the world. So it's like, what are you even gonna say if you bring up human rights violations against the Muslim population, against farmers and workers in India, right? Who have been protesting against all the kinds of things that the Hindu nationalist government that he oversees has been enacting on the Indian people themselves. What's your leverage if he already gets access to the Congress like this? You don't have any. So already it's ridiculous. And I'm so glad that someone like Jamie Raskin stood with the squad on this one, right? I think it's really important. Raskin has a loud voice, he has a leading voice, and he can't be so easily dismissed as, oh, they're crazy progressives. No, 70 Democrats say absolutely not. And we need to hold them accountable. Look, you know what this is, Nina? This is a Trump move. This is a Trump move because Trump loves his authoritarians. Modi is right up there with them.
That's it. And you know what? I'm so glad you said that, Francesca, because I was, talking to a dear friend of mine earlier, text talking, and I just said, pick your authoritarian, pick your dictator personality. For Trump, it was Putin, and the neo-libs had they went crazy about it. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't. I mean, call it out. But if you do care about human rights violations, let's take out the personalities for a minute. See, this is Francesca. This is what I got a problem with. See, these people decide. So since Biden is bringing in Modi, Modi's human rights violations are okay. But Trump and Putin's human rights violations are not okay because Trump is not okay. Modi's human rights violations are okay because Biden is okay. See, this is how some of these people think. And that is the crux of the problem. If we want to talk about humanity, if we want to talk about justice, if we want to talk about love and peace and global, in a global fashion, then we would call out right. When people are right, we say, hey, amen, hooray. And when they wrong, we would say the same thing, regardless of which president is coddling which authoritarian. I don't know, Francesca, maybe it's just me, but that's just how I see it.
No, absolutely. And look, ask any Indian, anyone who is living in the Modi regime, and they will tell you that Modi makes Trump look like a kid on a playground. I mean, he is a kid on a playground, let's be real, but he does make him look even more ridiculous and easygoing than what Modi actually is inside of India.
And it really does highlight our hypocrisy. Really, it is. We picking and choosing. I mean, that's really it.